I cannot believe it. Gas went from $3.55 up to $4.19. That is a what? 64 cents increase in one day. One day. Now you explain that, President Trump. I voted for you, and so far everything is going up. Groceries, gas, schools, everything. Our economy is getting worse, not better. People can't afford to feed their children. The gas is going up. And yes, I did vote him in, so don't make any snide remarks about me, okay? I thought maybe he would actually do something about it, but nope, nothing's getting done. Nothing. 64 cents a gallon. It's ridiculous. Walmart right now is still at $3.55, so I'm filling up. This is just getting out of hand.
It was overtime. My kids' daycare went up. Can't afford the cost of food. Using credit cards for everyday expenses. No money left after their bills were paid. Pretty much just a whole bunch of financial mess.
We changed presidents at the beginning of the year.
We did.
And the guy who moved into the White House said that he was going to fix it. Several times he said it would be easy.
Absolutely.
Has he fixed it?
Absolutely not. I'm definitely waiting for him to fix it.
Jones is a three-time Trump voter, but she says he has simply failed to keep his promise to lower the cost of living.
I'm very let down by that. Very, very let down because I feel like it's only gotten worse.
Regret voting for President Trump?
At that point in time, I think no, but now yes.
Okay, what happened?
It seemed like the right thing to do at the time for you.
I think so, based upon the data and what we were seeing and what we were being promised. It made sense.
Oh, promises made, promises broken.
And that has not bared itself out.
Jay Martinez is a Sacramento small business owner and 2024 Donald Trump supporter who says he voted with his pocketbook then and says the economy remains his biggest concern now.
And a lot of folks, other Latino men and folks that I know feel kind of politically homeless in a way.
For Martinez, besides the economy, the way that Trump immigration policy has rolled out has been another key concern.
There was a feel, and I think that Trump won 50% of the Latino men vote, particularly because we thought that there was going to be some sort of, common sense policy going forward.
Common sense. That's a good one.
Martinez called this ICE Sacramento Home Depot raid last summer an example of the problem for him.
It's just, that could have been my dad easily,
Gee, you didn't think about that before casting your vote? You went with the roaches for Ray, chickens for KFC mentality. I mean, what did you think these signs meant? No lo entiendo? I mean, Jay, I really don't have much left to say to you except...
Raise your hand, come on! Raise your hand!
But anyways, have the day you voted for. Bye.
This is for Donald Trump and anybody that loves tariffs. I use this rope right here, this Everbuilt rope that I get through Home Depot. Been using this rope since 2015. Right now I'm going through about 3 of those rolls a week. Those rolls currently cost me $184 at Home Depot, who gives only a military discount. Now, before Trump put the first tariffs in place, that roll of rope was $99. Now, thanks to Donald Trump and his tariff policy, this rope falls under HS code 5607 section 301. And guess what? As a small business owner, I'm a full-time firefighter who runs my bed swing business on my off days. Not so we can have a private yacht, not so we can drive expensive vehicles. My truck has 386,000 miles. My wife's vehicle cost us $19,000. Our side-by-side costs more money than Jen's Nissan Kicks. And you're running the price of goods up on our tariffs, not to mention the fuel cost is crippling small business owners. You are pricing us out of work. And you claim all this money's coming in, but nothing's being done about the fraud. Nobody's been arrested in Minnesota. Nobody's been arrested in California. Nothing is happening with the fraud. You are crippling the working taxpayer people of the United States. And you parade all this money coming in. I paid more in taxes this year, and y'all parade you had the largest tax cut. That breakdown, use ChatGPT and break down the tax cut that was passed and what price bracket, what tax bracket it affected. This ain't cool, man. The cost is always passed on to the consumer. I can't eat the diesel fuel costs. I can't eat the cost of lumber. I can't eat the cost of rope, the cost of paint. Do you know a gallon of paint at Lowe's now costs us $74 a gallon? It's insane what you're doing through the tariffs and the high fuel costs. I'm just a old high school boy from middle Alabama, small town Alabama. But I can tell you right now that when you're driving up the cost, you're pushing us out of work. And yes, Donald Trump is still better than Kamala Harris. So don't even get in my comments like a little minion about being a panicking. I'm being real as I can be. There needs to be accountability. There needs to be the hard talk. I don't care about your tariffs. You're talking about all the money that's coming in, but Congress is spinning it hand over fist through NGOs, and there's no arrest, no corruption, and there hasn't been no tax break on the working class. You are carving out the middle class. You better stop while you can, because you are crippling us.
We have a president who is competent, and he has a grasp on the economy and what is happening, and he knows how to fix it after 4 years of destruction.
Tariffs are working?
I mean, it's a no-brainer for me.
Before he got in office, all those criminals coming in here, he closed the border.
I love my country, and I hate what is happening to it.
He's a grifter, liar, manipulator. Seeing the treatment of American citizens is concerning.
He's the best one we've had since Ronald Reagan.
We came to North Carolina to visit some small and rural communities considered Trump country to get a better sense of how the president's supporters are feeling.
I think he's doing all right.
I think he's doing a great job. I think he's listening to the people, and I think he does what the people say.
So how do Donald Trump supporters feel about his handling of controversial issues? Let's start with immigration.
I don't think anybody wishes that anyone would have been killed, but the reality is that there's that situation that is developing in Minneapolis where ICE is trying to conduct their lawful duties. They have to do that. It's not optional for them.
The protesters are just idiots. I hate people get killed, but if you act like a fool, you get treated like a fool.
Those people were in these groups that were taught to go out and harass the ICE people. I mean, they're helping their communities be safer by getting those people out.
Oh, he's doing a fine job. He had to come in and straighten out a lot of mess.
Is there anything that stands out to you that you like most about what he's doing?
I like the fact that he can't be controlled.
When it comes to Canada, voters here view Trump's threats as a joke, and some are even aware of the Alberta separation movement. What do you think about how Trump has talked about Canada?
I think it's funny. I think he's doing it to get a reaction out of people. If you live in Alberta, I support you.
Oh, Alberta separation.
A lot of us down here refer to them as Snow Texas. They share a lot of the common values that I would associate with American values. Whether they want to be an independent state or if they wanted to join the union, then I would be cool with that.
Voters here who support Democrats tell us with everything that's gone on so far this year, it's only hardened their opposition.
It's very depressing and concerning, especially with all the corruption and the disgusting people he's pardoned.
We love Canada.
Yep.
That's all.
Trump with the tariffs, you guys buy from somebody else, punish him for being an idiot. Thank you, Canada. We love you.
I never expected this, right? It's terrifying. You read about this stuff, you learn about it. It's part of history.
When does the time come that we rise up? We're looking at things that are happening in Minneapolis and Minnesota and around the country with ICE and the thuggishness and what I perceive to be nation fascism. Now, am I on the cusp of arming myself and rising up? No. But the fact that I asked the question is horrifying.
Trump is becoming unhinged, and for those that want to unfollow me for saying it, go right ahead. I voted for him 3 times. And before I get into what I'm going to say,
we're going to play that whole video. But first, that was the conservative millennial.
pretty popular voice on the right, a MAGA. Now let's get into the video, and then we're going to talk about it right afterwards. Watch!
Trump is becoming unhinged, and for those that want to unfollow me for saying it, go right ahead. I voted for him 3 times. And before I get into what I'm going to say, for the people on the left and liberals, no, I am not on your side, but I like to call things for what it is. I think Trump has done some really good things, but his actions lately are starting to concern me and are fulfilling what my fear was with him with his second term. He's got nothing to lose, right? He's going to do what he wants to do. He's not getting reelected. He could do what he wants to do. The fact that he is now calling for jailing of a journalist, running for Venezuelan president, all kinds of things, bombing civilian infrastructure, these are, I hate to say, these are things that a dictator says. And there are still some people that are just like blindly praising him and saying like, oh yeah, he's doing great, he's doing great, he's doing great. It's okay to say he's doing great with certain things and criticize things that are not going great. Let's be honest. He got his head inflated with Venezuela, right? And thought he could do that to whoever and whatever he wanted to. And now he's in a situation with Iran. So, and before anybody says, oh, Iran was close to a nuke, they've been saying that for years and years and years and years. Every time it's 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 weeks, 6 months. Just call it for what it is.
No. You're not getting off that easy. Let's listen to what you said again. Listen.
Good things, but his actions lately are starting to concern me and are fulfilling what my fear was with him with his second term.
So you voted for him even when you had fears of his second term. That says a lot about you. That means that you knew what we knew, but you still voted for this. I watched some of your content talking about TDS and how you can't believe that the left protests everything that Trump does. There is no weaseling out of your vote. We're never going to forget what your vote did, especially what you did personally. There's a lot more than the left. There's center, there's right, all that didn't vote for him, but you decided, even though you had these fears, to still vote for him. So that puts you in a box. In that box, I like to call MAGA. Just because you could see the writing on the wall and what's going to happen concerning the 25th Amendment, and now you see a ramp off that MAGA train, we will never, ever forget what you did with your vote. And we definitely will never, ever forgive. Guys, tell me what you think about him in the comments. And if you haven't followed me yet, please do. Have a day!
Trump may have a serious problem, and it's young voters. New polling trends suggest that support for Donald Trump among young Americans has sharply declined compared to where it stood just after the election. And honestly, the reasons aren't hard to figure out. Gen Z came into adulthood during sky-high rent, student debt, climate disasters, and economic instability. So when young people hear politicians talking about culture wars, like why they can't afford housing, they tune out. And this is becoming a real political warning sign for Republicans, because younger voters are not just disagreeing with MAGA policies. Many feel like the system itself is leaving them behind, especially on issues like climate policies, health care costs, wages, and education. Broad polling trends are showing increasingly that younger Americans are leaning away from Donald Trump politically. So yeah, this may not just be the sign of a poll dipping. This could be the start of a full generational political realignment. Share your thoughts in the comments section and follow me for more.
My groceries, I used to pay between $150 to $200. Last week, I went and purchased the same amount of groceries that I usually do, and I ended up paying almost $320 something. I used to fill up my tank with $45, $50. Now I spend $60, $70, almost $80 filling up the tank. Well, we used to go out and be able to go out and eat, at least once or twice a week. We can't do that no more. If you want to buy, a shirt, It used to cost $5, $6 at Walmart. Now you go and it's like $10. So it's a big impact. My daughter and her boyfriend, they could not afford the rent payment. I told them, y'all can move back to the house and work from there, because we know how it is to struggle and have not been able to make ends meet. I've always been a Democrat. Let's start with that. For some reason, I guess the way that he sold that he was going to better the economy, I voted for Donald Trump, which I regret doing. I think it's a war, isn't it? So the war for what? For oil? For power? For what? I think there's more important things that you need to focus on besides other countries. We have our internal problems in this country. Why are you focusing on the outside when you can focus on the inside? I don't know if it's going to get any better until he gets out of term or what's going to happen, but it's not looking promising. But I know people are going to start saying, well, you got what you voted for. So I did it because he sold us this story where everything was going to be perfect. Now everything's getting worse and worse by the minute, And I always tell my kids, even if we don't have lots to give, but we have sometimes more than what other people have, we got to share. You come to my house, even if it's just rice and beans, we'll feed you. And that's what I try to teach my kids, be there for others. Make a difference. Make a difference in the world. We're still here. We're still fighting for it. What else can we do?
So it turns out voting for whoever was funniest on the internet was a bad strategy. I read this article today about how young voters are feeling so disillusioned with Trump after they voted for him. And now they don't want to vote no more. And they feel like politics got them feeling stuck. Well, too damn bad. Because that's not how democracy works. You don't get to play a game and quit when the scoreboard starts showing consequences. See, this is what happens when you pick presidents based on memes and vibes and whatever the podcast bros told you made sense. See, now there's a war and people are talking about drafts and now y'all want to get serious. Well, welcome to your first real lesson in politics. Elections have consequences. See, this ain't about who seems cool to hang out with or who goes viral on TikTok. This is about your life, your job, your future, your ability to take care of yourself and your family. And then some of y'all still living at home with your parents, talking about you don't want to vote no more. What happens when your mama and daddy ain't there to cushion the fall? Now, from now on, before you go vote, you need to get real information. Look at policies. Look at folks' records. Look at what people are actually planning to do. Because feelings don't run a country. Facts do. And if you help to vote this mess in, well, buckle up, buttercup. You gonna have to vote your way out of it.
I need someone to make it make sense. I can't get my diabetes injections anymore because they went from $76 to $499 a month. These injections literally keep my A1C and my blood sugar at bay. But because...
Now that sucks. And you almost had me. I was this close to actually feeling bad for you. That close. And let me show you what changed my mind.
It's a sick joke. But if you're a crackhead or you're poor or anything else, everything gets handed to you on a silver platter. But if you're middle class working, it's like you're just absolutely screwed.
Well, now that I know who you voted for, because you're somebody that likes to punch down and not do your own research on why your insulin prices have skyrocketed. You voted for him. You voted for Trump. And now I know. There you go. He reversed Biden's executive actions on drug pricing pilots. Pause the read. Then I went through your comments, and I saw that this lady says, "Did you just blame poor people?" And your reply was, "During venting, yes. In Louisiana, they get a lot of handouts." Are you kidding me? This is the problem. You punch down, when all along you should be punching up. Poor people didn't do this to you. It was the guy you voted for, knucklehead. It was Trump and his administration that upped your insulin and skyrocketed it through the roof where you can't pay for it anymore, to now where you're crying. You're crying on TikTok for people to feel bad for you. We don't feel bad for you. You voted for this. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. And as always, have a day.
I get Medicare and Medicaid now and SNAP. I had to go on antidepressants because of this.
Crawford says her contract with Roar Bus came to a halt on February 1st after she put up this sign which read, "Out of respect to English-only students, there will be no speaking Spanish on this bus."
I didn't mean to be racially insensitive or anything like that.
Crawford claims she never got to explain that the sign was put up to encourage safe and respectful behaviors and was directed at a bilingual student who allegedly had a history of riling up other students.
I didn't know if he was bullying somebody, telling them to do something they shouldn't do. How do you keep control of your bus if you have no control?
The district and Roar Bus writing in a joint statement today that the investigation had finished quickly after Crawford admitted to installing the note, writing, quote, "The relevant facts of the situation were fully known and discussed among district and Roar leadership, and that it was, quote, determined that the conduct did not align with the standards and expectations for student transportation providers."
Do you regret making the sign?
Maybe I should have worded it different. Maybe I should have said bullying has no bullying in any language, but I didn't mean it to be anything but to correct him. I dedicated everything I had to driving bus, and it was for the kids.
I finally woke up. I've been MAGA all these years, and I fucking regret it, man.
Damn, really?
Like, for real, Like, I woke up, man, and it's been one lie after another, and I just wanted to hop on here and let you know that. And it's causing a lot of tension between, like, friends and family now that I don't support MAGA no more, and it's kind of ridiculous.
What was it that was the final straw?
I think the final straw is multiple things, but the couple main things to me was no new wars, the whole Epstein files, like how is his name mentioned so many times, and these MAGA people just like goes in one ear and out the other. I don't get it.
Yeah.
And I just feel like everything he campaigned on was just a lie, like saying he's going to end the Russia-Ukraine war in 24 hours. That didn't happen. You know, the economy's in shambles right now. Like, prices aren't going down like he promised, and it's just.
Isn't it interesting that, like, literally everything he campaigned on, everything he ran on, not a single thing he did, like not one thing.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying, man. And I can't take it no more. Like, I've been supporting this dude since 2016, and I feel like I've just been sold a brand and not actual promises, you know?
Well, I appreciate that, brother. Seriously. That takes a lot. And, you know, we might have been on opposite sides in the past, but it takes a true American patriot to do what you did. And I just want you to know that I appreciate you. And, yeah, that means a lot. Seriously.
Yeah, I appreciate you too, Isaiah, and keep doing what you're doing, man.
Thank you so much. And look, this is the start of something great. And I hope that, you know, when we, you know, get into power very soon, that we can do something to deliver, because we got to make your life better. It's got to be more than just being in power and sitting in office in Washington. It's got to be about what we can do to make your life better. What would make your life better? If you could snap your fingers and get something done in Washington to help you out, what would it be?
I think it would be putting Americans first and not Israel first, and also seeing Trump held accountable for his corruption, you know?
Yeah. No, I agree.
Definitely.
We can do that. All right, my friend. Well, thanks so much for coming up, all right? I appreciate you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Appreciate
All
you
right.
too, man. Have a
Take
good one.
care.
I have a question for the rest of America. Does anyone even care about Nebraska? Does anyone even care?
Well, the state of Nebraska, the governor, Jim Pillen, has asked the federal government for help because they're not going to be able to pay their bills this year. And here's the problem in Nebraska. They had over a $2 billion contract with the Chinese government to export soybeans to China. Well, out of that $2 billion, they've canceled all the contracts. So out of that $2 billion, $350 million was state revenue taxes. They're not getting any of that. And the governor also goes on to say that because the migrant farmers weren't able to work in Nebraska this summer, that those people didn't pay their taxes either. And the farmers who already have crops in the ground, folks, they've already spent their money. They're going to need help too because they're not getting any money from the contracts anymore. So Nebraska is the first state. And when you look at the Midwest, you're probably looking at Kansas, you're looking at Iowa, South Dakota, all of those places that are large exporters of grains to China and depend on migrant farm labor. They're not going to be able to pay their bills either. So here's the first one to fall. But of course, as we do know, a certain person in a certain house in Washington, D.C. at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, they know all about bankruptcy. I'm sure they'll be able to help.
Well, the state of Nebraska and their Governor Pilling is asking Donald Trump for help. See, the state of Nebraska is facing bankruptcy. Why are they facing bankruptcy? Well, let me tell you why. Because of the tariffs and farmland, they can't afford anything, and a lot of bad state business decisions. Now remember, Nebraska is straight red. They are Republican through and through. And now they're about to go bankrupt because of tariffs, farmland, and not doing the right thing with their money. So Governor Pilling is asking Donald Trump for help. No worries, Trump will help him. See, this is what happens when states don't do the right thing and the federal government don't tell the states, no, 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 you can't do this. So Nebraska, who loves nothing but MAGAs and Republicans, that's fine.
All right, you guys, I did it again. Up. And it's not the average run-of-the-mill fuck like I'm used to doing. I think this one's way worse, guys. This one has far-reaching implications. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, and a lot of you have. There's been a whole lot of shit going on here on TikTok, and a lot of it on my stuff about Nebraska going broke. Crying Nebraska farmers and ranchers and all that kind of bull. Anyway, I've got it kind of twisted right up. I'm right up in the middle of this shit, guys, and I've had comment after comment after comment of crazy people telling me how Nebraska's going broke and we get what we deserve, and I'm one of those guys. And Sunny warned me. She told me, she's like, whatever you do, don't engage, don't respond to these crazies. Sunny didn't call them crazies. That's me. I called them crazies. Sunny's a nice person. She would never. Well, Sunny's a nice person. So I started replying to these comments, and I've even had a couple, really nice ladies do reply videos to my comments. One's from New York, and the other one, I don't know where she's from, but she's got some really, really neat classes, But anyway, I interacted with these people, and where I really guys is last night I had a few beers, and I kind of fell down a rabbit hole and took kind of a deep dive into these. I hit the search bar that said Nebraska ranchers going broke or something like that. And if you look up some of these search bars, I'm some of the videos in these. It's weird, guys. It's weird. You are a bunch of weird out there. Maybe you're just weird, not crazy. I mean, crazy weird. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, now that's all that's coming across my deal here, and I knew that would happen last night. I just wasn't thinking. I didn't take Sonny's advice, and I've even had comments removed. Next thing, I suppose I'm going to get nannered. But I guess the good thing about these crazies is they're pretty passive. I think sticks and stones and that sort of thing. I guess it doesn't really bother me. But they take one thing and they run from it, and they just keep regurgitating over and over and over and over and over. It's getting quite old, to tell you the truth. So I got to get back to doing what I know how to do. To tell you the truth, I got to get on that Wes Ellis video, and about the winter cabin and stuff, where that thing kind of blew up, and I've got kind of a different take on that deal. So I've got to do that, and I might do that either tonight or in the morning or something maybe. So yeah, I've got to get back to that. But this whole deal is just wearing me out. I didn't hardly sleep last night, guys. Nebraska's going broke. Nebraska ranchers are going broke. The whole state's going broke, I guess. I don't know. And if it happens, guys, you can just go ahead and, follow me and stuff so you can get back to me in 6 months when Nebraska's broke and you say, ha, 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 I told you so. And we can have a whole nother round of these people. Anyway, it's tiring, guys. I don't know how all these people just deal with this on a daily. That one lady with the nice glasses, that's all she does all day long is do weird videos, but keeps her busy, I guess. Anyway, you'd think their husbands would.
Well, all of us farmers have officially around and we have officially found the out now, guys. I am on the verge of bankruptcy. I'm on the verge of tears. Overnight, all of my help fled. My help, out of fear for their safety, their lives, they fled. And now I am left out here standing in my unharvested carrot field. It is January and I'm in Kansas, and this is when carrot harvest goes in Kansas. This field should be full of workers, but all my workers left. And who the you think is to blame for that? Every single one of them left. Now I have to by myself try to fill that truck with a load of carrots in one day, and I can't do that, guys. I have to get these carrots to market by next week or my contract is terminated. This is $936,000 worth of carrots right here, and I can't pick them by myself. If they're unharvested, I will get kicked out of that contract and I will get sued by the Planters Loves Carrots company for that money. But I have nobody that'll come pick my carrots. Fuck, we are so fucked farmers.
Welcome to another episode of FAFO, where I bring you stories of MAGA voters who have entered the find out phase of their vote. A person who goes by the name of Lance on Facebook posted this photo of the price of gasoline that it took to fill up his trunk, and he writes the following. I'm MAGA, but I did not vote for this. I put more miles on my truck this time of the year than any other. He said we make money when gas prices are high. Maybe his rich oil buddies, but the average person that put Trump in there is suffering. One more thing, I wouldn't trust him with our public lands as far as I could throw him. Other than that, I support him. This user on Facebook was looking forward to those $2,000 dose checks, where they write the following. Supreme Court strikes down Donald's tariffs. Forget about that tariff rebate check for $2,000. The only thing I got so far for voting him 3 times is lies. Due to this, I don't want to see anybody that he campaigns for or backs get re-elected or win an election. I voted for the swamp to be drained, it wasn't. I voted for lower fuel costs, and I'm saving $9 a week, that ain't cutting it. I voted for lower grocery prices, and they aren't lower. And I voted for the satanic peds to be arrested, and none of them have been. If you're still backing him, what are you backing? Your stock portfolio? User The Patriotic Blonde on X, who supported Donald 3 times, posted this. As much as I bash Biden, this one physically hurts, where she posts an image of the monthly job creations in the US from January of 2022 to February of 2026, showing the downward trajectory of jobs created in the United States. Where you'll notice that job creation was high under the previous administration, and then when you look at Donald's presidency, there are some months that have gone into a negative trajectory. And I'm telling y'all right now, as a content creator that specializes in FAFO type of videos, I'm going to have endless content for the next couple of years. So if you do enjoy what I post, please consider giving me a like, share, follow, and feel free to comment on my videos, as it really does help me as a content creator.
They say the biggest measure of intelligence is being able to change your mind on something when presented with new information. I posted a video last week that's ruffled some feathers on the internet, essentially admitting that I was wrong about my support for Trump and the whole MAGA movement, just based on everything going on right now. What's happening isn't what I voted for, and it isn't what I expected to happen, and I admitted it to the entire world that I was wrong. You know what happened? I've been getting torn apart by the same people that claim they want accountability. How could you fall for that? You're the reason we're in this mess. I don't accept your forgiveness. Newsflash, I didn't post that for your forgiveness. Quite frankly, I could give a about that. I posted it because on this page, publicly, I talked about my support for him. And although my views didn't change, I was wrong about that, as we're presented with new information, so I felt like it was right to share it. That's it. What I'm reminded of is the fact that you'll never satisfy haters, right? Whatever group falls into that hater category, you're never gonna satisfy them, so stop doing for them. Instead, be a man, admit when you're wrong, have some integrity, and realize that this guy right here didn't die on a cross for you to go around pointing blame at others for all of their mistakes, knowing well that you live a sinful life yourself. The fact that people try to punish you for admitting you're wrong is exactly why no one does it. So I'm gonna keep doing it. I hope that you keep doing it, because that'll make the world a whole lot better of a place.
Also, everybody says in the comments, Project 2025, didn't you read that? That's his platform. From my understanding, that wasn't his platform. That's not what he's running on. And I never thought I'd be on the political side of TikTok because it's definitely not something I'm interested in. I'm interested in the farm side of TikTok. Project 2025, I did not.
Well, MAGA, it's about to be a year and a half into Trump's second term. So when is the winning gonna start? That's when I would like to know. I mean, I'm waiting. I'm trying to be patient, but I mean, this is like my umpteenth FAFO video. And from what it looks like to me, y'all are taking L after L after L. Like, who would have thought? But I could just imagine it now, just to put myself in your crusty shoes for a minute. Y'all probably thought voting for this man, y'all would be living the life right now. $1.50 gas, $100 for a basket full of groceries. Y'all thought y'all were gonna be booming in your businesses, raking in the dough, not having to see immigrants anymore, hoping all the Hispanic/Latino people are deported. Y'all thought y'all be so much safer. Y'all thought that your businesses would be booming, the farms would be booming while still having to employ those very same immigrants that you hate to see here. Y'all thought y'all were gonna be on top of the world living the absolute life with this man in office. And now I laugh at the fact that it's going completely the opposite. And you know what? I'm going to take a page out of y'all book. Like, I think I likes having to struggle a little bit just to see the fact that y'all are struggling as well. Yeah, I like it. I'll take a little bit of high gas prices to mean that it's hard for you to run your farm right now because you have no workers or you're not able to get your life-saving medicine, such as insulin, which you need probably day to day in your life to be able to survive, and having the struggle of putting food on the table for your family. Yes, this sounds very mean, but doesn't that sound kind of like what y'all were thinking? Definitely feel free to call me a hypocrite. I'll take it for today's video, just so that y'all could be put in our shoes in the fact that we told you so. Y'all want people to have empathy for you so bad when things aren't looking good for you. But where was that empathy when you went in that voting booth and deliberately chose this man and knowing what he was going to be all about? He told y'all, and I'm going to say this in every video, he told y'all exactly what he was going to do. So it's no saying that, oh, this isn't what you voted for. Yes, it absolutely is. And especially a lot of these business owners, which a couple of them are in this video. If y'all are, I mean, and I'm going to give props. Like, it's not easy to have a business. So the fact that you're able to have, whether it's a big business, a small business, it takes a lot of work to keep a business going. So if y'all didn't have prior knowledge that tariffs would impact your bottom line and your customers frequenting your businesses, then how are we supposed to feel sorry for you? Like, as a business owner, you should know that tariffs are placed on the business owner whenever they're getting the imported goods. And then they will, of course, obviously have to pass that cost on to the customer. Now, Mr. Rope Man want to act like he's struggling so bad, but doesn't want to place blame on the person who got him in that position, paying double for that rope now. But, oh, you still want to bow down to Trump and give him his props, saying that he was the better choice than Kamala. I don't see how that's the case if you're struggling over some damn rope and paint being $75. And that's who you wanted to put in office. It's the average middle class, whatever he said, worker having to foot the high cost. Yeah, that's exactly who you put in office, because the man that you voted for is going to watch out for those millionaires and billionaires first. You, the average Joe from Alabama, he ain't caring about you. He used you to get votes so that he can continue to line his pockets and become an even bigger billionaire along with the people he associates with. He don't give a damn about your business. He don't give a damn if that rope becomes $1,000 under him, because he got everything that he wanted while you're out here trying to make ends meet with your business. But yet you don't want to condemn him. It seems like you're a little upset that things are a little expensive, but I mean, what is the point if you're not going to place the blame on who it's the fault of? Yeah, I find that really interesting. And like I said, whatever happens to your business, that's going to be on you because you placed the man who is making your business like struggle. I mean, for lack of a better word. And also for the guy at the beginning that has the small business too, the Latino man. It's kind of like you didn't think about what he was going to do with these deportations of your own people. You're saying, oh, that could have been your father. You didn't think about that when the election was going on and he had those people in his audience at the rallies holding up mass deportation now signs. You didn't think that could affect anyone that's close to you. I don't know. It's just really funny to me how everything is coming to like they're getting the bigger picture now that they're having the struggle. And I'm going to keep saying it because I don't care. Just like the other farmer that's wanting to be a little butthurt because people are coming in his comments, that farmer that's from Nebraska. It's like, yeah, people aren't going to just let y'all get away with just coming on to complain about stuff when you're putting into office the man that made it worse for your whole state. And y'all are a red state. You think we're just going to be like, oh, that's unfortunate. It shouldn't be that way. No, you put this man into office. You got to reap the consequences of that. You can't just be like, oh, these people are weird and crazy and lunatics. Like, get out of my effing comments with that, whatever he said. And you want to be mad about that, but I didn't hear anything being like directed towards Trump, the man that's not even sending you aid to any of your fellow farmers and probably yourself. I went back to his page and it looks like, because I think that was what, maybe earlier this year, I forget the timestamp on there, or maybe even last year. So he still has this farm, lucky him. But again, it's y'all always want to come onto the internet crying when y'all are having disadvantages and y'all aren't reaping the benefits of the man you voted for. Y'all wanted this suffering to be placed onto everyone else. So why is it okay for y'all to come on and express frustration and not have anybody call y'all out on it? The red flags were already there. I mean, he was already voted, but he wasn't even in office yet, not even sworn in, and the red flags were there. It did not take long at all for y'all to start seeing that this was a big mistake. And now that we're pretty much a year and a half in, I know a lot of y'all are regretting y'all votes, but y'all just will never come out and say it because y'all just will never want to publicly say anything negative about him. Some do, so, like the couple guys in there that are saying they are kind of regretting their vote a little bit, especially the guy at the end. But again, y'all want to just be like, oh, well, I thought y'all wanted accountability. Yeah, it's cool that you're coming out and being accountable and saying that you want a mistake, but you can't expect, again, for people to be like, oh, we forgive you. We know that, it was, you had to pick between the two people. No, you knew exactly what you were getting into. This man was all over TV and social media telling y'all what he was going to do. And y'all just didn't want to hear the concerns. Y'all just wanted to hear the things that y'all thought sounded good to you, which were the lower prices, which based on, of course, let me not say it like that. Of course, every president is going to try to do their best to get prices lower. That's nothing new. But he came out with all of these unrealistic promises and everything, and y'all just fell for it because y'all liked the other things that he was doing. Like with those deportations, again, I'm going to say this in every video. Y'all listen to all of that fear-mongering propaganda type stuff that they were saying. And that stuff isn't even things to be worried about. That's not anything that's even highly prevalent in our country at the moment. But yet y'all wanted to fall into that fear mongering of, oh, every immigrant is a criminal, like they're trying to get the children. Well, there's criminals and predators to children running rampant in our own government, and they're amongst y'all own party, but y'all don't want to talk about that though. The party of hypocrisy. So much about the children, but y'all don't care about Epstein files being released. Y'all the ones who are secretly a part of that life. I mean, if we could be for real. Y'all are the number one people that are a part of all of that abuse to children, but y'all don't want to come out and say that, though everybody else y'all want to put as a stereotype as the criminals and the people that's a danger to our society. But look where all that fear mongering got you, to where you're not even prospering in anything. Everybody is having to struggle because of your vote. But yet you want everybody to just coddle you and just be like, oh, it's okay. You're seeing the light now, so we forgive you. No, it's not going to be that easy. Like Stinkster said. I feel so weird calling him that, but I mean, hey, that's his username. But it's not going to be that easy. If you really truly are about that realization, then you're going to make the moves to show that. Because at this rate, nobody is even really still going to believe y'all, because y'all are going to go right back and vote for the congressmen and the governors and mayors and everybody that's going to keep everything the same. So until you put your words to action, like, it's all talk at this rate. It really is. I mean, I'm just going to say it. That's my opinion. Maybe some other people will agree with me, maybe not. But it's easy to say that, oh, I regret my vote. It really is easy to do so, but until you actually do the research and see that, hey, I was really fed some BS here. These people aren't really good for our government. They are trying to put everything onto Democrats to kind of throw rocks and hide hands at the shit that they're doing. Once you do that and start to vote in a way that reflects that realization, then nobody is going to care or believe you. And that's just my opinion, but I can make a FAFO video at this point every few days. And I guess I kind of have in a way, but yeah, these L's will not stop. It's going to continue for the rest of this man's term, and we're going to see what it's like when this man is going to refuse to leave office, how that's going to go. But that's going to be a topic for closer to when we get there, because we know it's coming. Y'all are all about law and order and abiding by the Constitution, blah, blah, blah. But if he tries to do that, y'all will definitely be okay with it. The hypocrisy continues. The lack of accountability from the majority of them is going to continue. Want to talk down on everything that he's doing, but don't want to come out and directly say that he's the cause of it. The same old, but it's okay. I'm okay with everybody struggling. I mean, I'm okay with y'all struggling. Again, I know that's not a nice thing to say, but y'all wish that upon other people. So I'm going to see how y'all feel about me saying that, because y'all wanted everybody else to have to struggle to find jobs, which is why y'all were clapping and cheering that DEI was no longer a requirement. But now you're having to pay higher prices at the grocery store and for gas, and all your businesses are struggling. Let's see how that feels when you have to have those same struggles. And yeah, going back to the lady with the insulin is and this is the typical thing, and you could tell that she voted for him, is because, again, instead of taking accountability and faulting the man who made the price go higher, you want to come up here and say that, oh, everything is just being given to poor people on a silver platter. Well, if you work so hard and voted for the man who raised the prices, you shouldn't have no problem paying that $400 for insulin, because the poor person is still going to have to because of your vote. So why shouldn't you? You don't get any extra discounts because you voted for this man. He put that in place across the board for everybody, which shows that he does not give a single damn about how high the medication is. I mean, think about it. Life-saving medication such as insulin, this man gave 0 Fs and took away the legislation that was in place to cap the cost for it. But yet you want to say oh, poor people are getting all the handouts. Where are these people getting handouts, especially with medication? But yet always deflecting blame onto other people besides the one man who got you in the position that you're in. It's wild to me. It really is. And this is just where it goes to show where and again, I kind of really do not feel bad for her, because you put this man into the position that he's in to screw you over. So really, I should be laughing, but I'm not, because it's serious, but I don't feel bad. Because if it was that poor person which is definitely the case, because there are poor people who have to take that same insulin that can't pay for it either. If you're so middle class, you could go work extra hours to pay for that medicine, just like the poor person will have to do. That poor person might eventually end up, unfortunately, dying because they can't afford it. And that's all because of you and 70 million other dumbasses that put this man in here, and now y'all are scrambling to try to make ends meet to even survive, which is, again, wild to me. Imagine losing your life because you voted for this man, because you can't have your life-saving medicine. It's just never going to get old. And of course, we still have the people on Facebook. Well, these didn't write letters this time, but again, complaining about gas prices. It's just going to get worse, y'all. I mean, we're about to get into summer now that school's, here in the South, school is pretty much over. I know, like in other parts of the country, it's about a month left of school, but summer's about to be here. So if you crying now, those gas prices are only going up even more, along with food, because obviously it's going to take that same gas to put in those trucks to get the food to the stores. But this is what you voted for, and I'm going to continue to say that. And yes, I'm going, just like the former from Nebraska said, we're going to continue to regurgitate that, because y'all didn't want to listen. So if we're going to be like, I told you so, we're going to say it every single day if we need to. We are not letting y'all go without any type of accountability. You're going to realize the effects of your vote. And that's why I made this channel, because I'm going to let the world know exactly what you voted for and how you're suffering along with everybody that you wanted to suffer. But anyway, you guys, another FAFO video in the books. Let me know what y'all think about this. Y'all know that I'm always in the comments, and I want to hear what you think. And if you made it this far, you know I appreciate you as always. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you found any value from this. It would be greatly appreciated as well. And that's all I have for y'all today. And I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Bye. See ya later.